If you are drawn to the mysterious, the mystical, and the magical, you are exactly at the right place. These are stories between worlds experienced in the now. Today's story is a wild one. It has been unfolding since yesterday afternoon, and I couldn't wait to tell it to you. Mermaids have been in my awareness quite regularly lately. Not that it is unusual for me. They have been present for most of my life. As a child, my favorite story was The Little Mermaid, the original version, where she dissolves into sea foam at the end. Later, when I came to know Venus, I connected the two. Venus, born from sea foam. Water has always been with me. Yesterday, I stood in my garden on dry, browning grass, and as I stood there, I felt the call of the mermaids again. I did not know what would come, but I was wondering if there was a message that might arrive, if it would be them or Venus or something else entirely. But standing there, I couldn't ignore what was right in front of me. The plants were suffering. November, December, and now the first week of January have been intensely hot. I live in a winter rainfall region, so we rarely receive rain in summer, and the dams in the area are getting lower. It's something we are all aware of. And as I looked at the garden, I imagined how the plants would feel, wanting to grow and bloom and not receiving what they need. At the same time, other thoughts were circling. The previous month's municipal water bill hadn't been paid yet. It was enormous. I'd watered the garden freely, instinctively, and when I received the bill, I was taken aback. Now I was rationing water, and it felt wrong to me. I feel responsible for my garden. I am the source for this piece of land, the plants, the trees, especially when there was no rain. And I know Source always provides for me. And as I stand there, I felt that I too had to be trustworthy and responsible and look after the garden without restriction. Above me, the sky was clear blue. 10 or 20 swallows flew overhead, catching the low sun, gold flashing from their wings. And high up were a few thin, wispy clouds that drifted. I looked down on the browning grass beneath my feet, then back up at the sky. Lately, as many of you may have noticed too, it has become easier to see signs in the physical world that communicated from deeper dimensions, from other streams of consciousness moving through this one. As I watched, the clouds began to change shape. They looked like fish moving through the sky, almost like koi, the kind you see painted in artworks. And then I heard the word water. It was both a word and a presence. And in that moment, the call of the mermaids, the shapes in the sky, and where I was standing all came together. Water has been revealing herself to me more and more over time, this feminine energy. Those of you who have followed the channel may remember how she once appeared to us as a goddess in a cave, cleansing us so that we could move into the higher dimensions. Another time she showed herself as a flowing stream moving effortlessly towards the ocean. I now always thank and acknowledge water for what she gives so endlessly, as she is an ever-present force in my life. in your life. My relationship with water has been a complex one. I've always loved the ocean, even though I hardly saw it as a child. We lived inland, far from the sea. There was a river that ran through the farm where I grew up, a magical place, but there was also fear around it. We were told that a little girl had drowned there once and that the river was dangerous. So water to me became both beautiful and something to be afraid of. Standing there in the garden under the clouds that was beginning to thin and disappear, I suddenly knew what I had to do. Why wait for a man-made commodity, money, to buy water if I could make it rain? I knew it was January. I knew rain was unlikely. That wasn't the point. I remembered another night, years ago. My son and I went to the beach late, close to midnight. The sky was overcast, thick with clouds. And as we walked, I spoke about how beautiful the night was. He said he wanted to see stars. And then he calmly said, "We will." About 15 minutes later, the clouds parted. Not everywhere, just above us. We walked beneath open stars for over an hour, sometimes talking, sometimes in silence. When we returned to the car, the clouds closed again. That opening existed only for the time we were there. So I had experienced how nature responded when something shifts, and I knew I could make it rain. The question was not whether, but how. Was there a trick? Was there something more required than alignment? I recalled the words of Jesus, "You will do greater things than I did." That was never symbolic or metaphorical, but literal. I paused, looked inward. Would rain at this time of year cause harm to anyone or anything? No warning came, no resistance, and nothing told me not to. So I talked to water. I was not asking or demanding. I was just acknowledging her, speaking of the garden, expressing my gratitude, stating my desire. The mermaids were unmistakably present. Their presence felt like confirmation. I did not feel like an imposter. There was no urgency or strain. After a long while, before I went back into the house, I thought for a moment I should water the garden because I felt the dry ground beneath my feet, but smiled as I remembered what I had chosen. If we want to use the words of manifestation teachers, we would say that was detachment from the outcome. Before going to bed, I looked outside once more. The sky was clear, full of stars. The night was quiet. It was beautiful. And I went to sleep thinking how strange and how wonderful creation is. Around 5 a.m, I woke briefly. My black cat Lila was eating. The soft sound of kibble in the house. I got up half asleep, went to the bathroom, washed my hands, as I usually do when I'm up at night and the cats are awake. I reached down to greet her before returning to bed. The moment my hand touched her soft fur, I felt it. She was wet. The memory of the previous evening came back all at once. Sleep vanished. I moved quickly to the glass door and opened it. Outside, everything was wet. The stoop, the paving stones, the leaves, the grass, the ground. In the light of dawn, I could see the sky was still overcast. It had rained. There's nothing more to say except this. You are not restricted by what others believe is possible. You are not limited by inherent ideas of what can and cannot happen. You are a powerful, connected creator, and what moves through you from deeper dimensions can enter this reality when it is aligned and when it comes from an open heart. If this story resonates with you, or if you have experienced something similar, I'd love to hear from you. I'm sending you my infinite love, and I will speak to you again very soon. Goodbye.